if you're in it right now and you can't see the other side, or you can't see how you're going to get there, or you're wondering if this is ever going to get better, or you're always just going to feel this way, then this talk today is for you. I'm going to teach you a tool that's going to help you with this that is both simple and effective. And if you've been around these parts for a while, you know that that is my favorite combination. So stay tuned. You are going to get a lot out of this one, and it's going to bring you some relief by the end of this talk. If you're new here, welcome to our incredible little corner on the internet. Take a second, introduce yourself in the comment section below. If you are back again, it is always good to have you. Special shout out to my shifters who are here and in my membership community, the Shift Society. And welcome to the new shifters who are here and there. We just wrapped up a promotional period for my membership community, the Shift Society, and welcomed in a bunch of new members. So it's great to have you here and great to have you there. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, the button's about right down there. Like the video if you get something out of it, that would be amazing. And either way, my name is Kristina, and I am a registered clinical therapist, researcher, coach, the creator of my membership community, the Shift Society. You can get more information about in the description below. And I help heart-centered humans break through the crap that is holding them back so that they can like themselves and their lives more every day. So you're in it. You are going through something right now that feels big, that feels hard, that feels consuming, or maybe it's just like this underlying hum in the background that, you go through your daily life, but whenever you think about it, whenever you remember the thing that you're experiencing or going through, it brings up that big kind of swell of emotion inside you that feels almost insurmountable, and you wonder if it's ever going to get better. Maybe you just lost your job. Maybe you are trying to build a business and it's not going according to plan. Maybe you just went through a breakup. Maybe you just started a new relationship and you don't know how it's going to go and you're feeling afraid. Maybe you are going through some anxiety for whatever reason, or you're experiencing depression in a bigger way, and you can't see how this is going to get better and wonder if it's going to get better. I want you to know that in this moment, you are having a part of the full human experience. And I want you to know that having difficult or negative feelings doesn't mean something has gone wrong. It is part of it. When you are going through something hard, it is normal to have difficult feelings about it. That negativity, that negative experience, a negative emotion does not mean that something fundamentally has gone wrong in your life. Being human means we experience all of it. We experience the good things and the hard things. And when we do, we have good emotions or we have more difficult emotions. But that doesn't mean that we have to get rid of them, that we have to avoid them, that we have to judge them, that we have to judge ourselves for having them, that we can't possibly experience them because there is no alternative. This is part of it. So in line with that, if we are creating this thought around radical acceptance of all the good and the bad and the ugly, it doesn't mean we have to like it, but denying it or resisting it is what is creating the majority of the suffering. Getting caught in those thoughts of, is this ever going to get any better? Am I ever going to get through this? Am I ever going to find love again? Is anything ever going to work out for me? Am I ever going to not have to feel this way? Is this ever going to work out? And getting stuck in that, right? It's not that asking ourselves questions when we are going through something hard is not okay. It just means that if you are asking questions that are making you feel worse instead of making yourself feel better, then you are asking the wrong questions. More on that in another talk. But taking a step back and being able to see your life as all of it. You are having the full human experience right now. If you are going to show up in life, it's going to be There's going to be disappointment that's part of it. There's going to be frustration that's part of it. There's going to be sadness and hurt, devastation, fear. That is part of it. So if we can accept that life comes with all of it, this is part of our story. A phrase that I want to introduce to you that's going to help you a lot with this is seeing your life as a series of events, as a story that is unfolding. And this is the part where. So that is the phrase I want to invite you to start using or use in this moment. This is the part where I was feeling devastated because this relationship ended and I wondered if things would ever get better, if I'd ever find someone again. This is the part where I lost my job and I wondered if I'd ever find another job that I liked or even a job that I could do that I get paid for. This is the part where my depression got big and it felt like it was never going to subside. And I wondered if I'd ever feel happy and connected to life again. This is the part where my partner and I were going through a really hard time. And I wondered if we'd ever get to the other side of it. This is the part where I had some intense family conflict and it was difficult and it was painful. This is the part where I wondered if I'd ever be successful. This is the part where I felt anxious about whether or not I'd ever be able to manage my anger and not have these big outbursts. This is the part where this is the part of my story. So much of our suffering comes from the resistance of the part of life that we are in right now, the thing that we are experiencing as part of being human right now. And now, yes, I teach a lot about managing our minds and managing our thoughts and, really just looking at the thoughts that are not serving us, that are creating a lot of those feelings of defeat and discouragement and stuckness and anxiety and anger. And yes, there is a time and place where we go in and we're like, okay, this is not the most serving thought. How do I want to see this differently? What are some other optional thoughts? And then there are times where we're just not ready for that. Or maybe that's not going to be the most helpful thing in this moment. When you have experienced a significant loss, you don't want to think positive about it and be all happy about it. You want to feel sad. You want to feel grief. You want to be going through that experience because that is part of being human. That's part of grief. That means that you cared and you loved because it feels significant once you have lost. This isn't about telling ourselves that we always have to think positive. This is about creating space for the full spectrum of our humanity. And yes, there is a time and place where we might want to change our thought because that's going to be helpful, but there's also a time and place where we're not ready, we're not willing, and maybe it's not actually going to be the thing that is the most helpful for us in the moment. So being able to see your life as a story, being able to look back on your life right now during times in your life where you were going through something and you thought, remembering how you thought, oh my gosh, this is never going to get better. This is awful. This means this. Maybe it's when, you were a child and there was a toy, maybe a Cabbage Patch Kid, and your parents said they couldn't buy you a Cabbage Patch Kid because they were too expensive. And you remember thinking, oh my gosh, my life will never be complete. I will never be happy without a Cabbage Patch Kid. And you look back and say, this is the part where I thought I could never be happy or satisfied with my life without that Cabbage Patch Kid, not speaking from experience at all. This is the part where I went through that loss and it was hard and it was painful and I thought that I would never feel okay again, that I would never recover from it. And this is the part where that relationship ended and I thought that I would never again find someone that I would love and I would be single forever. That was actually one of my thoughts after my first big breakup. This is the part where this happened. Anything in your life, past, present, and future, is the part where. And that's what a story is. Our life is a story. Being human is a story. And for some of us, a pretty exciting story. Now, maybe for some of us, we'd also like parts of our life to be a little bit less exciting. But if you think about a movie, the main character in the story is going through challenges. is going through life and figuring things out and experiencing hardship and challenge and pain and getting to the other side of it, learning something from it, growing in some way from it, discovering something because of it, shifting who they are in a lesson that they have learned from it. And you need to know that you are the star of your story. So being able to see that this is the part where this was happening, I was having this thought, I was having this experience, I was having these questions. This is the part where being able to see that this is the part where I enjoyed something and things were good and it felt amazing. And this is the part where I did not enjoy it and I struggled and it was hard. This is the part where this was happening. This is the part where I kind of wondered if there would be another side to it, where it would get better. When we resist the part, we create the suffering. Now, I am not saying that if you acknowledge your experience with this way, it's going to magically make it all better. That's not what this is. But this is about releasing the resistance, which is going to decrease the suffering. What if you were able to create the space for this experience right now? See it as every other experience in your life has been, as a part, as an impermanent part. The good, the bad, the hard, the great is all impermanent, and it's all part of the story, even if you can't see it. Thinking back to another time when you couldn't see another part. You could only see that part, and then there was another part. So being able to use the past as evidence that there is going to be that again. It's all just part of it until our life is complete. It's all part of the story. So now I want to invite you to do something. I want to invite you to think about something that you're in right now and then share in the comments section below. This is the part where it's going to do two things. In your mind, doing this is going to help release that resistance and create more acceptance of life and everything that comes with it. And the other part is that seeing it written out is going to change something in your brain. Research shows that writing out our thoughts and feelings, wherever we're at, it creates a different connection in our brains. And even that in and of itself can be healing and it can also create space between ourselves and the experience to be able to see it from the outside, which can also often give us some clarity. This is the part where it is simple, but it's effective. In the comment section below, which part are you in now? And then I'm going to invite you to get something for free from me. It's my 10-minute guided mindfulness exercise. And this is another tool to help you not get so caught up in whatever your brain is telling you right now that's creating a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering. So that mindfulness exercise, it's an audio, put your earphones in, close your eyes, listen to it. It's going to bring you a sense of peace, a sense of calm, and it's going to help you create some of that separation so you're not getting so caught up in whatever you're in right now, so that you are experiencing it but not getting crushed by it. 10-minute guided mindfulness exercise. Let me know which part are you in right now. Let's share with each other. Let's create space for each other, and let's learn and grow and heal with each other. Always good to have you here. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of those around you. Bye for now.